Hello and welcome back. And I just say it's not that I'm not changing my clothes, it's that I do a lot of these videos in the one day, trying to get them in the bite-sized pieces and then time release them. So today I'm going to talk about something a friend of mine, a very good friend of mine, suggested as psychological safety. I think it's very important. It's a very, very important topic. I'm going to talk about as psychological safety in the workplace. Surprise, surprise. Here he goes, manager bashing. But it's not about manager bashing. It's about genuinely, if you think about it, do you feel safe in your workplace, safe enough to go to your colleagues or to your manager and admit a mistake? Or not just to admit a mistake, but to make a suggestion to them about how we can improve what's happening here. And then how is that held? Is it that the manager goes, from a very young place, you're not the manager here, I come up with them ideas, you get back in your box? Or is it somewhere that the manager can turn around and say, very maturely and very adult, and say, actually, that's a very good idea, I didn't think about that. Is it okay if I bring that forward? And that's a really good environment. The second one is a really good environment to be working in. Again, I'm going to present a story from my history where I had a very psychological unsafe meeting with a person in my employment. Around 2011, I started doing training as an advanced paramedic, and I had an assignment to write in professional practice for my professional practice professor. And it was around the no blame culture. And in writing the no blame culture, we looked at things like if you admit a mistake, you won't be punished. Once you admit the mistake, you won't be punished, because it's been proven that if you make a mistake and you feel comfortable to go to your supervisor and say, I've made a mistake, and they go, okay, let's look at it. How can we fix this? How can we do that? Well done, thank you for bringing it to me. That the next time you'll be more vigilant about how you do your process, and as well as that, you'll be less likely to hide your mistakes and cause risks of harm to patients. So that's within medicine, and it's brilliant. I think it's a fantastic idea, no blame culture. I think it's amazing, and it's coming from a place of psychological safety. But what happened to me was, in my assignment, at the very end of my assignment, I said I really embrace this no blame culture. I think it's amazing. I think it's an amazing concept, but I do feel that it's the ambulance service will not embrace this, and that's what I said. And I received the lowest grade of any of my assignments, and I got fairly told off from the professor and a bit of an argument. And I basically I disagreed with him, he disagreed with me. So you do an internship for a year while you're training as an advanced paramedic, and I made a mistake. I'd given the wrong medication. And immediately when I gave the wrong medication, I wrote it on the official legal document. I informed the patient's family. I admitted to the nursing staff on handover, and I immediately rang my education and competency assurance officer. This was then sent up to the medical director. The medical director saw it and wrote back to me a lovely, really lovely letter, really embracing, felt that this is his psychological safety that he wants to promote. And he wrote a lovely letter back to me saying, thank you very much for admitting the error. I'm not, I can't remember what it was. It was like, I'm not recommending any action taken against you at the time. Thank you so much. And that was it. And it was lovely. I felt really, really, really respected. Now, coming from that, my education and competency assurance officer decided he wasn't happy, and he decided to punish me. And not only punish me, he humiliated me. And how he did that was, he said every single medication I give to a patient from now on has to be signed off by the person that's with me. Now, what's actually happened is, as an advanced paramedic, I had to have a paramedic sign off my medication. They didn't know what the medication was, if it was an advanced paramedic drug, and they had to sign off to say. So not only if I'd made a mistake was I risking my career, but I was risking their career too. And as well as that, was humiliating me that I had to answer to let's say, someone at lower clinical level. So that was the intention, I think. So this went on for about 6 months. It was very, very frustrating, very humiliating, and I had to get involved with the union, and basically it was said that they can't be doing this. So they create what happened is, while I was working in that frame of being punished and having the juniors, every single junior member or staff that had to sign off, every single 100% of them had said, because of what's happened to me, they will never admit mistakes. So that one person, that one education and competency insurance officer did more damage than I could have ever done by continuing to give bad medication or whatever. So he created an environment that's still there today, where it's unsafe. People feel it's unsafe to admit a medical error. And that's what's happened. So the psychological safety and psychological danger, does it feel safe? Do you trust your management structure? Do you trust your colleagues to be able to go to them with ideas? Do you trust them to be able to hold those ideas and honour them as an adult, not as a child, not as someone who wants to prove themselves better than you, but to say, actually, that's a really good idea. I didn't think about that. Let's go forward with that. If you've made a mistake, do they hold that mistake and say, actually, I think we can learn a lot from here. This is a very good point. But what was happened then was, from this, I said, well, I want to look at my mistake. What did I do wrong? Why did I do it wrong? How can I improve my practice? And then I suggested to the people that train us, is there a way we can identify, can we separate the two and have it that if I am overwhelmed, that there's a big red sticker on the one that I know that's what that is, because they're two clear bags. And I was ignored. I was told no, it was just not going to happen. So not only did the person who humiliated me destroy any psychological safety for me and for the staff that I was working with, and guarantee that every member of staff that I worked with would never admit a mistake, but the people that are there to enforce change and implement change, who essentially are training us, also failed. So this is the reality of what's happened here, is you're going to create a very unsafe psychological environment. It's not safe to come to you, it's not safe to tell you anything, and then you have the opposite. People keeping secrets, hiding mistakes, and just not involved in management at all. So there's this absolute conflict coming into the system from this. Whereas if we just pull back and say, let's look at this, how can we listen to these people? These are staff, these are valuable people. These are if there wasn't staff, you wouldn't have a job. So I'd say to you, listen to your staff. You can't keep telling staff this is the way it is. You're not the authority, you're not the expert here. You might have a badge that says I'm manager, but a manager manages. So management is part of listening, and colleagues listen to each other. Let's get together and listen to each other, encourage each other, and move forward. So also there's other areas that I've heard where people have gone into their managers and said, maybe this could work better, and the manager just goes, no, I'm not listening to you. I'm the manager here, which is it's kind of a frightening thing that we have a company in particular, quite a large company, which we all work under, who are creating and promoting managers who aren't willing to listen to anyone else. But they're promoted probably because their friend got promoted and they'll give a little nod to them. It's not because they're good, it's because maybe they play football with them on Sundays, or their wives hang out at a book club. But there's no managers really being promoted, from what I can see, that are really good managers. There are very few, is what I'd say, very, very few really good managers out there that are interested in staff promotion, staff welfare. So when it comes to good managers provide psychological safety and make an environment where it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to offer suggestions, information and stuff like that. So I hope that helped. If I've missed anything in that, please do let me know. I really appreciate any feedback. Thank you so much. I'll talk to you soon.